We're not in the meeting, so we can't plan out 6 months in advance of what we're going to do in each OG meeting. Make sense? As a matter of fact, we can't even tell whether or not we're going to have one next month because we're not in the meeting. So what we have to do is pray and plan to be there, and then pray about what we're going to do when we get there, and not concern ourselves with who's going to show up because it's not our list to invite. If you look at some of the parables in the New Testament where Jesus said, well, this great king set out this banquet for the marriage supper, and he invited all of the higher-ups, all of the kings and princes of the lords and the rulers of the area. None of them showed up. They had this to do, they had that to do. So he sent out his people to kill all of them. And said, now go out and get some folk. Just go out and get some folk. And he went out and got them. And he said, the place is not full. Go out and drag some folk. And he went out and drugged some folk. He said, the place is not full. Go out and beat the bushes and haul some folk. Basically, what he was saying is, I'm the one in charge of who shows up. I invite some, and then I just make some come. Because there's a lot of people that don't believe they rate. A lot of people that don't believe that they're even supposed to be there. There's a lot of people that are afraid that if they show up, something's going to happen, and they're going to get snatched up if they show up. So what happens is, we have to just make it available and let him deal with the list. Let him have his angels go. And if he has to beat the bushes, then he has people that will beat the bushes. What we have to do is make sure that it's ready and it's prepared. Does that make sense? Because that's the bottom line. It's his show. It's his meal. It's his banquet. It's his supper. We are here to make sure it's available. Now, usually, if nobody shows up, we pack up everything and go home. Because nobody showed up and our thing was a failure. Well, here's the problem with that. It wasn't ours. It wasn't yours. It wasn't mine. It wasn't theirs. So when all of these people cooked all of this stuff for all of these people that, in the parable, that the king had set out this marriage supper for and nobody showed up, all the people said, oh man, we got all this food and it's going to spoil. What are we going to do? Well, it wasn't up to them. It was up to the king. And the king says, okay, go out and kill everybody that had an invitation and just invite other folks. Somebody's going to eat that food. Don't worry about it. It won't spoil. So the king is always the one that's in charge of who shows up. Always. And whatever parable you use, you will find that it was always the king who was in charge of who shows up. So never put it on yourself to force people to show up. Not even in your own families. It's up to the king for people to show up. It's up to you to prepare the supper. It's up to you to prepare the dish. He prepares a table before me in the presence of my enemies. He has his angels preparing stuff. It's up to you to eat. If you don't eat, you starve. Does that make sense? All right. So, Jeremiah 32. Starting in verse 39, we're just going to look at 39. You can look at right in there, 39 through 42. All the way down to the end if you wish, but just 39 and possibly 40. That's all we're going to look at. But you can go to the end of the chapter if you wish later. 39, I will give them one heart and one way, that they may fear me forever, for the good of them and of their children after them, and I will take an everlasting covenant with them to do them good. But I will put my fear in their hearts, that they shall not depart from me. Now, this of course is talking about Israel. But any people that the gospel says God has adopted them, any people that the gospel said God has adopted, okay, now God died for us. Now, does this apply to us as well? The answer, of course, is yes, because he died to do this for us. 39. I will give them one heart. Which heart is that? Is it my heart that I will be sharing? Is it your heart that you will share with me? No, it is Christ's heart. It is Christ's heart. If you back up to 38, it says, they shall be my people and I will be their God. Same thing that he has said to the church. They are my people. I am their God. But here's the difference. We are his body. So if we are his body, and all the body has members, different members, but all of these different members only have one heart. There's only one heart. There are no two. Only one. So where do we get all of these emotions? Where do we get all of these different feelings? Where do we get all of these diversions of situations from? Not from this one heart. That's why this OG Summit is so important. To realize that it's only God and only one heart. Not two. Not a Methodist heart or a Baptist heart or a Church of God in Christ heart or Church of Christ heart or an Anglican heart or a Catholic heart. No, just God's heart. Because we make up the body of Christ, but we don't make up his heart. His heart is his heart. And he says here, I will give them one. And that heart can only come from Jesus Christ. That's it. Done. Finito. There is no other place we can get it from. That they may fear me forever. And please believe that the heart of Christ loves God the Father. So the question then becomes, why then do we hate one another? Because all emotions come from the bowels. All emotions come from the heart. So whose heart are we using? Whose heart are we really using? That they may fear me forever. For the good of them. For the good of who? For the good of the body. For the good of each member. So, why the divergent spirits? Why is it we care so much about how much better we are than somebody else? And of their children after them. We should care more of what our children see in us than what we see in ourselves. Because if our children actually see in us what's there, rather than what we're trying to project, they have a problem, and their problem is bigger than ours. Because now they see these two people in us. They see the heart that God gave us, and they see us rejecting the implant. So what's the problem? Why is it the body of Christ continually rejects the heart the new heart that has been given to it for its own good and for the good of its children. Why is that? Why do we work so hard on hating each other when we're supposed to have only one heart, one mind, one spirit, one Lord, one baptism? I have no understanding of that phenomenon. I have no understanding of that. Verse 40, and I will make an everlasting covenant with them, that I will not turn away from them. An everlasting covenant that I will not turn away. That's what Jesus said. Whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. Period. Everlasting covenant. I will not turn away. Even though they die, they shall not perish. Everlasting covenant. To do them good. But I will put my fear in their hearts, that they shall not depart from me. We have a problem. We have come up with our own concept of who He is because we know better. We all know better than the next person. We all know better than the next one. Each church knows better than the other church. Each body of believers know better than the last body of believers. Each denomination has a secret that the other denomination has no idea exists. And they turn from the one heart that they may be exclusive. And they say they haven't turned from God. We have a problem. And that's why we have the OG Summit, that we would be able to live together. As in 41, and we'll be done. Yea, I will rejoice over them to do good, and I will plant them in this land, assuredly with my whole heart and with my whole soul. Do you actually believe that God is working with the church in America with His whole heart and His whole soul? The body of Christ in America. Do you actually believe that God is working with His whole heart and His whole soul to make us one body of Christ, one body of believers? Because we are so in tune with His one heart. We are so in tune to do good. We are so in tune to make sure our children are doing good. Are we? Have we? Should we? Can we? Will we? When will He begin to stand and with His whole heart and with His whole soul stand for the children of God in America? When will He do that? If ever. Good question. Do we have answers?